bago pa makalimutan. And so that you can go back to it later. Okay, the link is there. All right. So as I was saying, for week number 6, it's more materials. You need to really understand the basic parameters to create most of the materials. What are those? Number 1 is the base color. Okay, the base color, this one, that one, okay, defines the look, the color of the material. Okay. When I say material, that is equals to shaders. Okay, that will be explained also on week number 6. Okay, shaders and materials the same. Okay, materials are what you attach to 3D models. Those are your materials and shaders attached to 3D models. Textures and maps are what you attach to shaders. Okay, ayun. So sa base color, you can specify a color or a texture or a map. Okay? Right? Base color defines again the color. As you can see, color. Okay? Next, we have the specular parameters, the roughness. Okay? The roughness ranges from 0 value to 1. 1 is the highest. Ano ibig sabihin yan? 1 is super rough, 0 is super smooth. Ganun lang kasimple yun. Okay? Now, most materials vary their roughness. There is no specific value here. Dito, minamata nyo you eyeball the roughness based on how you observe the material. So, kailangan nag-o-observe din kayo ng materials. Okay? But to give you a rule of thumb, there is no zero roughness material. Merong 0.01, yes. Okay? But rule of thumb is there are no perfect materials. Meaning, there are no perfect smooth materials. There is no perfect rough materials, or 1. Same with the base color. There is no perfect white. There is no perfect black. There is no perfect red or perfect yellow. So, when you're specifying color, let's say you want red, okay? Hindi nyo siya perfect red na ganyan. Okay? Like this. You can put it somewhere here, 80% or 0.8 value. Same with cyans. Same with magentas or any other. Same with blacks. Okay? Kung black yung color gusto mong gawin. Okay? No perfect blacks and no perfect whites. Okay? Please take note of that one. Setting your color values in base colors to the maximum like this or like that, okay, is not realistic and slows down your rendering. Okay? It affects the render time. So take note of that one. Okay? Now, so base color, roughness tells you if the object is smooth or rough. Okay? Then you have metalless. Okay, that's the third. Metalless tells you if it's a metal or not. There are only 2 values for metalless. It's either 1 or 0. Nothing in between. Take note. Kung metal siya, set it to 1. If it's not a metal, set it to 0. That's it. Setting the values in between is not realistic. So it's either 1 or 0 lang. Okay? Or if you apply a texture. Okay? And finally, you have the normal bump. Normal bump defines the uh, uh, elevated parts or depressed parts of your material. Okay? Different yan from roughness. The roughness dictates the microscopic imperfections of your material. Okay? Normal bump or normal shows you the physical elevated parts or visible elevated parts or depressed parts of your material. Okay? Yun. Now, the other parameters, and of course, last is transmission. Transmission is for transparent glass objects. Okay? That's a quick rundown of the basic parameters of a PBR material. Okay? Most materials are are made by adjusting those 5 different parameters. Okay? Now, that's a quick overview of week number 6. For week number 7, let's go to week number 7. Okay? Week number 7 is how to attach materials, multiple materials to a single object, advanced or surface imperfections, and advanced materials using complex materials with procedurals. Okay? How to create complex materials to achieve a certain effect. Okay? But before you can do this, you need to go through week number 6. Okay? So let's start with week number 7, multi-sub-object material. Okay. When you download, if you go to week number 7 in Big Sky, under the assets, okay, this is a OneDrive link. Okay, if you go here, you will be directed to your OneDrive, Okay. To be able to download this, you will need to log in with your Benilde Info account. Okay. So use your Benilde Info account. It's the same as you log in to Big Sky or whatever. Just log in with your info account and then you can download this. Okay. Your Benilde, for your information, your Benilde Info account can be also used to access OneDrive. Right? Not only Google but also OneDrive kasi may Microsoft account kayo. Okay? For your Word and others. Pag may Microsoft account kayo using your info account, you can access OneDrive. Okay? You have a Microsoft account with your Infonet account. Okay? So, just log in with your info account. And you should be able to download week number 7. Download everything. Okay? If you're having trouble downloading that one, I will upload the zip file to our chat channel here. Okay? So, I'll do that now bago pa makalimutan mamaya. Where did I put that? There you go. Files are quite big because there are a lot of textures there or maps that are quite big. So, yeah, it's already there. Okay, so let's proceed. So, in week number 7, okay, you will see there a chess set that I've been already prepared. Okay, all you need to do is recreate how I did it. Okay, so just follow the video. Okay, so I'm going to turn on active shade, Arnold render view, not active shade. As you can see here, this chess set is a single object. It's a single object, And if you press the material, press M, and if I drop this one, you will see that it's using one material, shader, but 4 other shaders are attached to it. As you can see, we are using the wood, white plastic, black plastic, and gold. And all of these materials are being used in this object. Okay? To be able to do that, we are using what we call a multi-sub-object material. Okay? There are different ways to use this one. Okay? The fastest way, okay, for example, is, let me duplicate this one. Okay? I will convert this to an editable mesh. Okay? And then under the utilities tab, if you want to remove a material to an object, convert that to an editable mesh. And then under the utilities tab, you will find here UVW remove. Click that one. Materials. It will remove only the materials. Click that one. That should remove the materials. So, wala na siyang materials. Okay? Now, oops. So, let me delete this. So, we have 4 materials. The wood, white, black, and the gold. Okay? It's already present there. If you see all you have to do is just eyedrop it, then delete the big node here. That's a multi-sub-object material. Okay, so to apply these materials to our object, let's convert it back to an editable poly. Right click under your quad menu, convert to editable poly. Now it's back to an editable poly. Let's access our sub-object material or sub-object properties or sub-object level. Okay, 4 or polygon sub-level. Okay, all we have to do is select the polygons we need. Let's attach the wood first. This is the wood first. So let's select the wooden parts. Like that. And attach this one. Ayan. Okay? So kung ano yung selected na polygon at nag-attach ka ng material, dun siya nalalagay. Okay? So that's one. Next, let's attach the white material. This one. Okay? So what I'm going to do is going to select all of this. Subtract this one, Alt. Hold the Alt button to subtract. Subtract, 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 subtract. Oops. Okay, just like that. Attach the white one. Okay. I can click Control I to invert the selection, holding the Alt button now to subtract the other parts. Okay. Don't need this. Don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. Attach the black material now. Ayan. Okay. And then finally, the gold trim, the gold borders. I'll just select this one. Then subtract. Control to add to selection. Alt to subtract. Okay. and then attach the gold material. Yon. As you can see, we have applied 4 materials to a single object. And if you, let's open another view here by right-clicking the material editor viewport, right-click, create view, V2, and I drop this, you will see that it has now created a multi-sub-object material. Okay? Ayan. 1, 2 being the gold. Okay? 3 being the white plastic. 5 being black plastic. 6, the wood mahogany. The other 2 materials are unused. Okay? This is the downside of doing that, because 3ds Max automatically assigns the material IDs. Ito yung material IDs. Okay? So, if you go to the sub-object level, polygon, and if you select this polygon, you will see here under polygon material IDs, 3D Max set the ID to 6 here. And you will see it's 6 here. Okay? If I change this to, let's say, 5, it will now use the black material. Because it's using, you tell 3D Max, 5 yung ID nito sa material. Gamitin mo yung 5. Ito yun. Okay? Let's bring back to 6. Okay? So, that's the downside. You will have unused materials or unused slots. To remove that, just select your object. Okay? Go to the Utilities tab. Look for, under More. Look for Clean Multi-Material. It will just, actually, hindi niya mahanap. Okay? That means, merong gamit tong dalawang to. Okay? So anyway, let's come back to that later. The other way is the inverse. So let's duplicate this. Okay? Convert it into an editable mesh to remove the material again. So wala na siyang material. Okay? Let's go back here. Okay? We have 4 materials. What I will do is, I will first create my multi-sub-object material. So materials, general, multi-sub-object. Ito yon. 4 lang ang kailangan ko. So, I'll set it to 4. Okay. Okay. Let's say this will be wood, white, black, and gold. Okay. Nilagyan ko lang ng pangalan. And materials ID 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, I will attach this here sa first part, sa first node, the wood. Okay. This one sa white. This one sa black. This one sa gold. Okay. And then, I will attach it to my object. Kita nyo, medyo gulo-gulo pa. So, aayusin ko na lang. Okay? Since naka-attach sa, I'll just arrange the material IDs of this one. Okay? Convert it to editable poly. And then, I'll select everything. Control A. Okay? Set ID 1. That makes everything wood. Okay? Going to top view, I'll select this one. I'll set it to 4 as gold. Okay. Then I'll select these parts. I'll set it as 3. And then alternate. I'll set this as 4. Oh, sorry pala. Should be 2. Sorry. Ayan. So, Same result, different procedure. Okay? Whatever procedure you want to use, doesn't matter. As long as you find it the easiest, you can choose whatever. Okay? So, multi-sub object allows you to attach multiple materials to one single object. You just need to select the polygon of that object and apply a specific material. Okay? Yon. Is that clear? Naintindihan po ba?
Yes po.
Alright. Now, there is a downside. There is a downside to this one. Why? Because if you have many materials to a single object and all of them uses maps and textures, okay, that object will be very heavy. Marami siyang kakaining resources. Imagine if all of these materials, okay, are PBR based, meaning meron siyang 4 na textures attached to each material. So, bibigat. Okay? Now, for this to be optimized, optimize this,
Anong ibig po sabihin niyan? It'll be hard to render
it will be
if
harder.
there's too much.
Yeah, because it will eat a lot of your resources, especially your memory. Okay? Imagine this is a
Okay.
material. Okay? Each material has a minimum at least 2, 3, or 4 textures attached to it, just like this. This one has 3 textures. 1, 2, 3. Each texture is around 4K size. So it's around 5 MB. So sa wood material, at least 15 MB na ang kinakain niya na resource. Okay?
Okay.
Eh kung 4
Ano?
yan, 3 times 4, that's 12. 12 times 5 is 60 MB. 60 MB ang kakainin niya na resources.
Okay.
Kung meron siyang mga kung meron siyang mga textures attached to these nodes, for example. Okay? So imagine, for example, these are, I'll duplicate this. Okay? Posible ganito mangyari no material mo later on. Let's just imagine these are different materials. Ito, dinuduplicate. Let's say these are all different. It's possible that your materials will look something like this.
Okay.
Okay? Ito yung downside niyan. Okay? Imagine these are different materials. Eh, what if you have 10 materials? Di ba? So,
Mas mahirap.
mas mabigat, mas ma-render naman siya. But, if you have many objects are like that, then, you eat a lot of your resource. That's why rendering needs a lot of memory. Now, kung limited yung memory mo, gusto mo mag-conserve, okay, there's another way. To do that, that's what we call, in the next topic, here, go back to Big Sky. Okay. That is week number 7. We are going to unwrap UV unwrapping. Okay? So what is unwrapping?
Okay.
Remember in your mail-print. In mail-print, you were asked to design packaging, correct? If you remember mail-print. Nag-mail-print na ba kayo?
Yes.
After M-Color, that's mail-print usually. You're asked to design packaging. Anyway, if it's packaging, in Illustrator, meron kayo unfolded box, and that unfolded box, you will add your designs, and then when you fold it, you have your packaging. Same principle. So that means, this one, we need to map out the different textures used in an unfolded 3D object. So how do we do that? Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this again. Copy. Okay. I'm going to convert it to editable mesh. Go to the Utilities tab. I will remove the UVWs, the UV mapping information, the materials. Okay. UV mapping, remove. Has been removed. And then convert it back to editable poly. Nireset ko lang, tinanggal ko lang yung materials and information. Okay? So, this time, I'm going to unwrap this one. Okay? So, under the Modify tab, just look for UVW unwrap. Now, since this is a rectangular or square object, okay, this is going to be very easy. Okay? So, this is the the unwrap UVW. Okay? You can select by vertex, by edge, by polygon. 1, 2, 3, just the same. Let's go to polygon. Okay. Open UV editor. If I open the UV editor, it will open this big window. You will see here that the mapping is projected from the top. Okay. Aayusin natin yan. So to do that, I'll just select all these polygons. Okay. Under mapping, the easiest way to unwrap this one is flatten it or unfold it. Okay? Flatten, ipa-flat lang niya. Click flatten mapping. Just click OK. Ayan. So, ang ginawa niya, broken apart. Okay? In-unfold niya. So, this part now, remove this. Oops. This part now is the bottom part. Kita mo, nasa ilalim siya. Okay? I can select this one. Right-click. Break it. Kasi kailangan ko siya i-separate. Ayan. Okay? Now, that's the bottom part. This part, double-click. Ito yung top part. I'll just move them around here so that you identify which parts are there. So, this parts here, ito sila. Ito itong mga to. Okay? You just need to identify these parts. Okay? Select this. Na-identify lang natin kung nasan sila sa okay. Let's move them here. Oop. Okay. Now, sa unfold mapping, ang problema, okay, ang problema is, yung nga, hindi siya ma-identify. So, let's undo it. Let's try a different approach. Undo. Ayan. Let's select everything. Control A. Okay. Mapping. Let's try unfold mapping. We'll try to unfold it. Click OK. Medyo magulo rin. Okay? Bakit magulo? Because, hindi natin kontrolado yung seams. These green lines are the seams. Diyan siya pinutol-putol. Okay? So, let's reset it. Select everything. To reset those seams, okay, reset natin. Select mo lang, under unwrap UVW, let's delete this. Let's apply a new one. Open, go to polygon, select everything. Control A. Just apply a projection. This one. That should reset everything. Okay, open UV editor. Okay. And let's say flatten mapping. Let's see. Yon. Better. Okay. So what I did, before I use flatten mapping, let's do it again. Okay. I applied a UVW map, unwrap, again. Selected everything. Applied a projection here. Just use a planar map projection. That should reset those seams. Open UV editor. And then hit flatten mapping. Click OK. Ayan na siya. So, ibig sabihin, okay, mas maganda yung pag-separate ng mga components. Okay. So, let's select po this part. Here. Open UV editor. Okay. So, this part here, This is the wooden part. So what I will do, I'll just group together all the wooden parts. Okay, this is the wooden part sa ilalim. Okay, dyan siya. Just need to identify the golden parts. Ito yung mga golden parts. Nasaan sila? So I will need them to be together in one location. So I'll just select them. Okay. Select all of them. Now this process is a bit longer compared to the other procedures, but it's well worth it. Why? Because it will be lighter. Mapping, flatten mapping. I will only flatten those selected polygons. Flatten mapping, click OK. Okay, so ito na sila. I'll just put them here on the side. Okay, this one. Flatten mapping, okay. Put them here on the side again. You can move it. Okay. So these parts, these are all the golden parts. Okay. I just need this to be organized in a way, so I will flatten it again. Let's see what will happen. Nope, undo. Okay na siguro to. Okay. So these are all the golden parts. I'll put them here. I can scale them down. There are other efficient ways to do this, but this is just a demo, just to give you an idea how to unwrap. So these are all the golden parts. Okay? This part, ito yung wooden part. Ito yung checker. Okay? Ito yung checker part. This one is, where is this? Hindi mo siya kita. Ah, okay. Let's move it here. Break. Okay. So this is the checker part. Right? These are all the wooden parts. These are all the golden parts. Okay? As much as possible, dapat wala nag-overlap. So double click this one, put it there. Make sure wala nag-overlap. I think that's good. Control A. Okay? So what I will do now is I will render this UV layout. This is what you call a UV layout. Ibig sabihin, in-unfold mo yung mga polygons, in-arrange mo siya. And then you will render this, bring this to Photoshop, and paint over to create your textures. Okay, so let's do that. Right click, render UV template. Let's make it 2K 2048 by 2048. Then hit render UV template. So ito na yung UV template mo. Ito siya ngayon. Mabilis na ito mag-render instant, so walang problem. Okay? All you need to do is save it. Save. Let's put it in UV chessboard. Ano lang, UV chessboard. JPEG. Save. Okay. So we've rendered the UV template. We go to Photoshop. So sa 3D, gagamit ka rin ng Photoshop. So here's an example. Okay. File. Let's go to that folder. UV chessboard. So ito na siya. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in my textures here and lay it out here. Okay? Okay. So I'll unlock this. convert this to multiply. Control I to make it transparent. Okay, multiply. Invert it. Ito na siya ngayon. Now, let's put in the wood texture. So, in your package, meron tayong wood doon. So, use wood mahogany, African standard, regular, 3K. Ito yun. I'm gonna bring it here. Dahil mag-open na. There. Okay, scale it down. Here. Of course, this layer should be on top because this will be your guide. Ayan. Lock transparent. For some reason, I cannot lock this. Ayun. Okay. Going to duplicate this layer. Bakit? Kasi ito sa baba, wooden parts din to. Okay, ito yung mga sa gilid. Okay. Let's put it here. Okay. Now, the problem here is, if you look here, this part, itong mga to, this part, this should be follow, the grain should follow the length of the wood. This part, and this part. So to do that, I will duplicate this wood again. Okay. This one, ito na sa taas. Okay. Gonna rotate it horizontal. Okay. And then I will use path na lang. Gonna use shape. I'm sure familiar kayo sa mga commands sa Photoshop, no? So, hindi ko na-explain yan. So, I'll just use shape. For this and this. We have two shapes. Merge it. I'm going to clip this one here. Oops. Clip it. This one. This one. So I'm going to clip this layer here. There you go. So, horizontal, horizontal, following the grain, following. So that's good already. Okay. Okay na yung wood. Next, I'll use gold. Create a fill. Ito, this will be all gold. Ito lahat ng gold. Put it over here. Yan. So lahat yan gold. Now this part, I just need to create black squares. Oops, sorry. Gold. Go create muna tayo dito. Oops. I'll just create a black square here. Color it black. Okay. Duplicate it. Duplicate it again. You see what I'm doing? I'm preparing the textures in Photoshop. Okay? Medyo mas matagal. Pero, you will see later. Duplicate this again. Sorry, mabagal ako mag-Photoshop. This is not my forte. Basics lang alam natin dito.
Ox lang po, sir.
Let's just duplicate all of this. Here. Then select all of this again. There. It's not perfect, but it will do. Okay. So, we've mapped everything. Okay, let's turn this off. So you don't need that one. Let's make a white base layer. Pinakailalim na should be white. Let's put it underneath. And then let's put in our little signature here. Like text. Let's say, made in the Philippines. Lagyan natin dito. Let's put it here first. Nasa ilalim. Made in the Philippines. Yun. Put it on top. Isa na siya. Where is it? I don't appear. Anyway. Tanggalin na lang natin. Alright. So this will be saved as my base color. Okay. So file. Save as. JPEG. Let's just use JPEG. Okay. This will be my chessboard base color. Meron akong previously made from the previous section. Let's just overwrite it. Chessboard base color. Save. Okay. So meron tayong base color. Okay. So if you go to 3ds Max, okay, let's close this. Open up material editor. Let's create a new view here. Create a material, Arnold surface, standard surface. Okay. Okay. Then, just use that one as base color. Let's go to our directory where we saved it. Chessboard base color. And then attach it to the base color. And then this, attach it to our object. Tadan! Yan siya. Okay? Looks the same compared to this one. Pare-parehas lang yan. But this one is lighter. Bakit? Isang texture, isang material lang gamit. This made use of 4. This only 1. This takes time to prepare, but is more resource friendly, I would say. Kasi mas magaan. Okay? Of course, you just have to map it correctly. Okay? Medyo matrabaho lang, but it's worth it. So let's finish the other maps. Kailangan natin ng metallic map or roughness map. So we know this is a bit rough kasi wood yan. This should be smooth. The gold part should be smooth. The wooden part should be somewhat rough. So what I'm going to do, go back to Photoshop. I'm going to duplicate all of this. Merge it. And then make it grayscale. Desaturate. Okay. This I will group. This will be a base color. Make sure you rename. This will be my metallic map. A roughness map. Okay. Roughness is, again, roughness, the white color will be very white, very rough. Okay. Black color will be very smooth. Okay. Because it's 0 and 1. Black is 0, 1 is white. So, we want this this part to be smooth, the chessboard. So ito, gagawin ko itong all white. So gagawin ko, let's just paint over it para mabilis. Oops. Let's add a marquee. Brush. Done. Okay? Gold, very smooth. Let's make it white. Ay, roughness pala to. Baliktad. So this should be black. Sorry. Roughness pala pag pinag-uusapan natin. Okay? We want this to be, now, not really black, not totally black, like what I've said earlier, no? So, somewhere here lang. Not totally black. Not totally rough. Not totally smooth pala, sorry. Black. Yan. Okay? This one, this part, let's make a little bit smoother. Not too dark, not too smooth, not too rough pala kasi meron siyang varnish, sabihin natin. So lagyan natin ng brightness contrast. Let's a little bit darker. Yan. Okay. So this will be our roughness map. Okay. Let's duplicate all of this again. Bring it up. Control E. This will be our metallic map. Okay. Metallic map. Again, alin ba ang metal dito? Ito lang naman, di ba? Yung nasa taas. So, let's turn this off first. Ang metal lang naman is the gold part. So, metal should be white. Okay. So, this part, I'm gonna make this all white. Control Shift I. The rest will be black. Kasi hindi naman siya metal. Okay? Metallic map. So let's save this. File. Save as. JPEG. Metallic map. Save. Yes. Roughness map. File. Save as. JPEG again. That should be our roughness. Save. Okay. And then finally, we need a normal map. Okay. We can create a normal map from our base color. Let's duplicate this again. Okay. This will be our normal map. Now, Photoshop has a built-in normal map creator, but medyo mabagal siya, medyo buggy, but let's see if it will work here. So let's select this layer, normal map, go to filter, 3D, generate normal map, depending on your graphics card because it's graphic related. And ngayon, using Photoshop CC, ang bagal. Well, I don't know, the more updated your Photoshop becomes, the slower it gets. I don't know why. Kaya marami akong kilala, ang ginagamit nila is Photoshop 6 pa rin or Photoshop 7. Anyway, it's still generating. Let's just wait for it. Let's go back to 3ds Max. Let's attach those different textures. We have the roughness. Let's attach it to our roughness slot here. Go back to this one, metallic. That's the metalness. Okay. So if you look at this one, let's go to Arnold render view. Let's see how it looks. Okay. There's the mapping issue here. Okay lang yan. But as you can see, looks perfectly the same. Now, if this is too smooth, for example here, okay, naset nyo na masyadong smooth, right? Paano mo to ngayon i-adjust? Babalik ka sa Photoshop ulit. Pwede. But there's another way. Okay? This is example. I find this too smooth. Roughness issue. Not metallic issue. Roughness issue. So what I will do, okay, gonna click a node here. Okay. Under maps, general. Okay. Going to go to output. Okay. Output can control the brightness of this map. You can make it brighter or darker. So let's make it brighter. RGB level, increase the RGB level. Offset. Ayan. Ayan. So, kanina, super smooth siya ngayon. I just made it brighter to add a little bit more roughness. Hindi na siya super smooth. It looks much better na. I didn't need to go to Photoshop again to adjust my brightness and contrast. I just added a map, an output map. Okay? This part is what we call modifiers. Okay? Modifiers to your original textures. Okay? Ayan. Ito na siya. Let's go back to Photoshop. Ayan. So here, it has generated a normal map. Of course, depende yan sa texture mo. Detail scale. Blur. I think this will do. Click OK. Go to layers. So this will be our normal map. Let's save this. File save as. JPEG. Normal. Save it. Yes. Click OK. Okay, under surface shader, maps, Arnold, bump, normal map. Let's put it here. Let's go to normal. Should be somewhere there. And then let's bring in our texture. Normal. Yun. Input. Okay. Very subtle effect. Very subtle naman yung normal map na ginawa natin. Okay. This is with normal. This is without normal. Ayan. Actually, meron tayo kailangan adjust dito. This should be override. Okay. Input. There you go. There you go. So, ayan. So, we've created a PBR texture with all of those materials in one material lang. Okay? Mas magaan to compared to the other procedure. Okay? Now, this is quite advanced. Okay? Okay? Medyo advanced tong UVW unmapping na pinakita ko sa inyo. Why? Because I'm showing you the potential of UVW unwrapping. Because this is what they do in games. If you're interested in creating game assets or you want to work in a games industry, this is how they do it. Okay? They're baking the textures to the 3D model. This is what you call texture baking. In the simplest term. Okay? So we bake the textures into one material so that it will be optimized and lighter. Okay? When you export this model will be only 5 MB or 2 MB. The other model with multiple textures, multiple materials will be around 15-20 MB. Ganun siya kabigat. So, saan ka mas magaan? Dito tayo. Okay. This you can follow. You can try this. But if you want a simpler way, a simple lecture about UV unwrapping, just go to Big Sky. Ito yung simple lesson or the simple version. What I showed you is a more advanced version. Okay? So that is UV unwrapping. Okay? Alam ko medyo advanced yan. That's why this is recorded. You can go back to it later. You can follow it step by step so that you can try to apply this. Because this will make your renders faster. Because it will be lighter on your system. Okay? Now, the next topic will be surface imperfections. Okay? This you can follow. Just watch the videos here. But I will show you what surface imperfections are. Okay? So if you open, okay, if you zoom in here and render it, okay, let's make this bigger so that you see it. So if you zoom in here, you will see yung chest piece meron siyang scratches and fingerprints. Ayan. See? Okay. If you look at the material, let's eyedrop this material. Ito siya. How it was created. Normally, kung gagawa ka ng material, ito lang yan. Black. Kita mo? Super smooth. Looks good already. But, if you apply surface imperfections, let's bring it back. This goes to specular roughness. Okay. Kita nyo, this specular roughness created those fingerprints. Ayan, no, meron siyang fingerprints. Subtle fingerprints. Okay. I can modify this by adding what we call an output map, just what we did earlier. General, output. Where is that? Okay. Output. Oh, let's not do that for a moment. Let's not do that for now. Okay, mamaya na yan. I'll show you in a different ano lang. Okay, so mamaya na to output. Okay. So to add the scratches, okay? Nandito siya sa normal map or bump. Okay. So for smaller details, microscopic surface imperfections, nasa specular roughness yan. But yung visible imperfections like scratches, physical imperfections like scratches, bumps, dents, nasa normal map yan, just like this. So those scratches yan, normal map lang yan. Hindi yan model, map lang yan. But it makes the 3D model look much better. Okay? So that is yung surface imperfections. It's very simple to do, basically. You just need to use the correct maps. Okay? So just to give you a short example, okay, a quick one, let's create a teapot. Here. Ayan si teapot. Let's zoom it closer. Let's create a material. Right? Materials, Arnold. Surface, Arnold standard surface. Attach it. Let's make it metal. Gold. Nice. Let's say this one. Okay. Roughness, bawasan natin ng 0.07 para smooth siya. Okay. Perfectly smooth golden teapot. Okay. Let's adjust this. Make it 2 segments. 32 para super smooth siya. Okay. So, super smooth teapot. Okay. Let's add surface imperfections. Let's reuse this. This map can be found here in your assets. These are the fingerprints. Regular, PK, overlay. Okay. Or this one. Black being smooth. Okay, this one. That's the black one. Okay. Let's bring it over here. and plug it to our roughness, specular roughness. Kita nyo yun? Kita nyo?
Opo,
Okay.
sir.
Kita na, di ba? Now, to control that, let's add an output map. Earlier, Arnold General Output. So you can modify it directly. Okay. So you can add, to make it more pronounced, play with the offset value, higher value. So adjust it to your liking. Gusto mo mas marami, mas pronounced, ayun o, super dami na. See? Ibig sabihin, matagal na ito pinaghahawakan. Ilang beses na ginamit ni Aladdin. Sobrang gamit ni Aladdin, ayan, sobrang dumi na. Right? Or pristine smooth with slight usage. Ayan. Okay? So, with adding a simple roughness map, fingerprints can add smaller subtle details to improve your renders. Okay? That is surface imperfections. Now, the last topic is basically, I've showed it to you, creating procedurals. Okay? Ito yon. So, it's still surface imperfections, but now, we are combining two materials with surface imperfections and layering them all together. Okay? Ito yon. This is an example. If you look at the queen piece, okay? It has, if you zoom in here, it has wood and paint combined, and then weathered look. Some parts of the piece are showing the wooden base, and this is the black paint over. Okay? So ito yon, may wood, kita. So paano ginawa yon? Okay? So we're using a layered material. Let's eye drop this just to show you. Just follow the video in Big Sky how to create that step by step. So ito siya. Ayan, pa-complex na pa-complex yung materials nyo. Okay? So basically, we're using 1, 2, 3 materials. Okay? Hindi natin siya kanina multi-sub-object material, multiple materials in one object. Ito, multiple materials layered over as one material or blended together. So, bine-blend natin siya. Ito yon. Okay? So, to do that, just follow the video in Big Sky. Okay? Yon. So, that is week number 7. For week number 7 deliverable, okay, week 7 deliverable, all you need to do is re-render, recreate, or redo your week number 6. Yung week number 6 nyo, perfect materials. Yung week number 7 nyo, you're going to redo week number 6, but now add surface imperfections to your materials. Okay? Render it, and put it to Big Sky. So, this week number 7 with surface imperfections, kasi meron siyang fingerprints, smudges. If you look at the week number 6 render, super perfect siya. Super linis. This week number 6, this week number 7. The difference is, this one has surface imperfections, the other one, wala. Okay? So, yun. Yun ang gagawin nyo sa week number 7. Okay? It seems a lot. Yes. Okay? If you find the UV unwrapping, okay, too complex for you, then use the simple one, multi-sub object material. It can be. You don't have to use UV unwrapping always. Okay? If you want to optimize your scene, you can do this. Okay? Actually, you can unwrap this model. You can unwrap this model. Okay? And then, you can bring it to Photoshop. Paint the surface imperfections in Photoshop also. Pwede rin yun. Okay? Hindi mo na kailangan gawin to. Pwede rin yun. You don't have to layer it like this. You can paint it over, unwrap it, bring it to Photoshop, paint over those details, yung mga imperfections, then bring it back to 3ds Max. Okay? So again, many ways to do that. Right? So that is week number 7. I know that's a lot of information, but rewatch this recording. I posted the link in our group chat in Discord. Watch it again if you want to follow the complex version. If not, follow the simple version in Big Sky. Okay? With that, that is week number 7. Again, next week, online, asynchronous po tayo. Just go over week 8 and week 9. Week 10, I will see you again. Right? So, are there any questions?
Sorry.
I'll,
Go
I'll let
muna.
no, I'll let Alexandra go first.
Okay.
Okay,
I was
Alexandra.
wondering kasi, sir, 'di ba sabi ninyo pa na you can make your own mapping? I'm just wondering lang na how were you able to tell yung position of uh how the map will fit yung model po?
When you unwrap it, that's why you render the UVW layout. So, for example, I'll open Photoshop again. Na-close ko na pala. Okay.
Like even if you're making it in Scratch po, you'll be able to tell po.
Yes.
Okay.
So, let's open the UV chessboard. This one. Okay. Then let's open the textures we created earlier. Okay, the base color, let's put it here. Let's merge it here. Tingnan natin siya mag-load. Okay, if you will look at the recent unwrapped version. So what I did is I unwrapped the model. Okay. Where is the unwrapped model?
Opo.
This is the unwrapped model, right? Okay. Let's open the UV editor.
Okay,
Let's put it
ganyan.
side.
Okay.
Let's put it side by side sa Photoshop para makita mo yung kung paano siya na layout. Okay?
Okay.
So, let's say, if you look at the model, how do I know? That's why we unwrapped it first. Once you unwrapped it, okay, I want, where is the, let's say yung chess piece, ito yun, yung chess layout, chessboard layout, ito siya. Okay? So, if we overlay the UV layout here in Photoshop, ito yun. Let's change it to multiply and invert it, Control I. Ito siya, oh. Dito siya. Okay? So, if we can load the bitmap we created here. Punta ka dito sa UV editor mo. Okay? Punta ka dito. Pick texture to check the alignment, basically. You go here, pick texture, look for bitmap, and then load the base color that you created. Okay, base color, open. So, ayan, kita mo, di ba? Now,
Opo.
kung meron kang, ayan. So, kita mo, meron tayong misalignment. So, kung gusto mo i-align yan, pwede. What you can do, select these
I'll just move it slightly lang. Okay.
Yes. Ayun. Okay? Kung gusto mo, for example, you want this. Let's say you want this to be white and gold, for example. for the fun of it. Let's make it white and gold. I'm going to select all of this. Going to break it. Basically, break it para matanggal ko siya. I'm just gonna put it here. And now it's gold.
Ah,
Okay?
cute.
Because here, the information of the texture is made for is is uh uh are getting it from the bitmap they use. So ito yung layout. Gusto mo maging wood yan, idali mo siya sa wood. Ayan, no? Wood na siya.
Okay.
Depende kung saan mo siya ilalagay. You can first create your layout first in Photoshop, unwrap your model, and just bring on and align your polygons to the image. Pwede yon.
Okay,
Okay?
okay. Na-imagine ko kasi, sir,
Got
like
it?
when we're finally animating kasi I'm just thinking about like when we're gonna make our own models. Like I'm thinking lang like
Mm.
paano yung I guess when you make like a person there, you have to make the 3D model first, then
Ah,
make the mapping. Ganyan ba po?
yes. Unwrapping a 3D person is a bit more complicated because organic model yon. Okay? So medyo complicated yon. Okay? But
Okay,
then it's worth it. It's worth it.
okay, okay,
Medyo
okay.
kung ito advanced unwrapping, medyo advanced to. Unwrapping a person is, let's say, advanced 5 times over.
5 times. So,
Okay? Oo,
na-imagine ko.
5 times
Sige.
over. So, kaya naman. Pero, kailangan kitang upuan kung paano gawin doon. Magsa-session tayo one by one. Let me know if you want to do that.
Ay,
I'll
sige
teach
po,
you.
sir.
Pero you have to,
Kaya ba po,
ayun,
kasi I've been
medyo
watching
mabigat
yung
yon.
mga, I've been watching mga, ayan, like how video games are made. Kaya pala, yung mga modders, they try to improve yung models minsan by fixing yung mapping,
Textures.
yung textures ba
Yeah.
pa?
Yes, exactly. So when you download a model from a 3D game, the UV information is there. Okay? The UV information
Okay.
is there. Just you open the UV editor, look at the layout, and then paint over the texture. That's it. That's how you mod.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay po, sir.
All
Sige
right.
po, thank you. I'll let you know po yung sa
Okay. Any other
model thingy.
questions?
Um, ako po.
Yep.
So week 6 and week 7 are more or less just basically like texture work. Yan yung main focus nila, right? Um,
Yeah.
okay, okay,
On
okay.
week number 6, on week number 6, you have to create your own model. Okay?
Huh?
Basically, on week number 6,
Okay.
you look for a photo of a still life just like this. That's week number 6. And then you recreate that in 3D. For example, this is the photo I chose. I recreated this one in 3D, and then I textured and add lights to it. That's week number 6.
Okay. And then try to
So the
make it
instructions are here.
close
Go
to
to
the
Google,
original as
Pinterest.
possible po.
Yes, that's the idea.
Okay, okay.
Not really as perfect, but as close as possible. So choose
Noted
something
po.
that's manageable to you. Okay?
Um,
And then recreate that scene, add textures, add lighting, render it. That's week number 6. Week number 7, same scene, same setup, you only improve the materials. Add surface
some more.
imperfections.
Okay. So bale, like, week 7 is just an extension of week 6 lang. Okay.
Yes.
Um,
Exactly.
one question I do have po, since I'm about to work on week 6 within this week. Um,
Uh-huh.
like does it have to be like still images or still life from the internet, or can it be from like you've taken your own, like you took a picture of your own still life?
It can be your own. Can be on your own.
Okay. Noted. And then the next question I have is regarding the finals, yung phase 1, since I'm currently trying to
Uh-huh.
like get that finished. So like yung mood board, does it have to be like a mood board for the uh kasi what I intend to do is like the 3D environment. So, like, is the mood board supposed to encompass the 3D environment itself, or does it have to like refer to the camera angles that for example, me, like I want to do that specific shot pang ganun.
Both.
Both. Okay,
Both.
okay.
Basically, the mood board or pegboard or your inspiration board, that's where you get your inspiration from.
Okay.
The colors, the themes, the camera angles, the lighting, the textures, whatever that inspires you, put it there.
Noted po. And then
Okay? Yun.
the next question is how the PowerPoint doesn't have to be that long, correct? Like 10 slides siguro.
Doesn't have to be that long.
Okay,
Can
okay.
be. Depende sa'yo yan. There is
Okay
no
po.
specific format for the PowerPoint. I just look for three things. One, your 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 storyboard. Two, mood board. Three is your concept art sketches. Ano yung concept art sketches? Basically, you have your environment. You get inspirations from your mood board. This say, ito yung couch niya, nilagay mo doon, ito yung color niya. You just assemble it there. You sketch it, you draw it, you illustrate it based on what you have, based on your intention. Kumbaga, ito yung magiging itsura ng
Okay po.
environment ko pag ni-render ko siya in illustration form or in sketch form. Okay? This will be your intended environment, look, and feel. Okay? So,
Okay
meron kang
po.
mood board. Ito yung mga inspirations mo. Ginather mo lahat yan. Let's assemble it. That's your concept.
Noted po.
Kaya gagawa ng sketch. Okay? Right? Any other questions?
That would be all for me po. Also, dumating na po si Irie May, yung na-request mo kanina po.
All right. Irie, are you here? Can you hear me?
Yes po, sir.
Let's talk after the class. So don't go yet.
Okay po,
Okay?
sir.
So if there are no other questions, thank you for your attention. Thank you for attending this session. I hope you learned something. It's a bit much, I know, but this information may be helpful in your animation renderings later on. That's why I gave it to you. Okay? It may not be needed. You can just go follow the modules in week number 7, but this may help you in your animations later. Okay? So thank you for your attendance. I'll see you guys in week number 10. Don't forget, week 8, week 9, no session. Week 10, I will see you in week 10. Very important. Okay? Mark your calendars. And I'll make an announcement here. Okay? So thank you for your
Noted
time.
po.
Take care.
Yes po, sir. Thank you.
Good
Take care din
goodbye.
po.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Um,
you.
thank you very much po. If there's like anything like questions po like outside of class, I pwede naman mag-chat dito po, no?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Just
sige
message
po.
me in
'Cause
Discord.
sige
I
po.
try my best to reply within 24 hours.
Sige po, sige po. 'Cause I have a feeling I might run into problems with like week 6 and 7. Hopefully not po. Fingers
All
crossed.
right.
Okay. Thank you very
Okay.
much po. Stay safe
Okay.
po.
All right. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, clarify, I make sure ko lang po, 11:59 today. Yung sa week 7, phase 1 po. Ba?
Basta submit it today.
Ah, Okay ba? Sige po.
Alright?